Hello, class. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Devin Vanneman, and I'm going to be discussing two things that stood out to me from this week's reading assignment. So, the first topic comes from our CSI textbook, and what I want to discuss is how the authors Cornelia and Ferris liken the process of conducting research to that of a detective. In my line of work as a public safety supervisor, investigations are something that's common practice. We do them very frequently and on a regular basis. And when you conduct an investigation, you try to gather as much information as possible. But on a side note, you may not use all the information you gather in your final report that you um, complete. You, for example, you may have three people that eyewitness an event, but all have different recollections or tellings of how things transpired or things unfolded. So you have to be able to take the evidence that's in front of you and weigh that to what's being told to you and kind of piece things together. I think research is, in many ways, is the same, especially with nowadays, as the authors mention. We live in a world where information is just readily available to us at our fingertips. Um, I would argue that all of us have a smartphone. I know that everybody has a computer. We wouldn't be in this class, and we have access to Google and internet searches, and you just type in something and look for more information on that particular topic, and thousands of things will pop up on Google and YouTube videos and how-to videos and all this information is just out there for us. But so that brings me to the first thing that I think is important or was important to me that stood out in this week's reading, and that's the information literacy, and that's being able to decipher between good information that's going to be useful in your final report versus information that's not necessarily going to be good or may not be founded or factual or backed or proven. So I think that's a skill that's really important. That's not to say that the other objectives that we just this or that we read in this week's reading aren't, as far as like critical thinking and problem solving and writing. I think all of those steps are vital and important. They all kind of go hand in hand. However, that brings me on to the second thing that I want to bring up. Um, you can be able you can have that skill to be able to take the information that's being right in front of you or brought to you and decipher what's good, what's not, what you're going to use, and then you can think critically and know, okay, I'm going to use this and not use that, and start piecing things together. And you can solve problems. You can do all these steps, but if you can't write a, a well written report that articulates all your findings and discoveries and your argument, those first three steps are kind of downplayed at that point. They're almost kind of voided out if you can't articulate. So being able to write a well written report is really important, especially I know that from like I said, from my experience in the public safety industry, being able to articulate exactly what happened and unfolded, and to share your evidence with people and your findings and your arguments is very critical. I've actually been in court where public defenders have actually um, questioned things in my report, and I'm talking one single word will hang them up, and they'll come after you if it's not well written or if it's questionable, because that's their job, right? They're trying to um, cause an interruption, and the prosecutor lays out their case, and the public defender's job is to kind of interrupt that flow pattern and cause there to be doubt. So it's really important to write a really well written report. And like I said, that's not to say that the other steps aren't as important or equally important. I just think it's really important to be able to write really well. Um, so that's what I got. That's what I took from this week's reading. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I'll be watching some of your guys' videos and looking forward to that. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their week, and I'll talk to you guys later.